Hey guys, sorry, I just had some technical issues just to get the stream started. I'm gonna get started now in about a minute. So yeah, no issues with the sound. It's just computer froze again right when I launched YouTube. We'll get started in 1 minute, guys.
Recording in progress.
Hey, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining Stock Sniper Trading. My name is Ron. My partner is Dave. It's just after 7 a.m. Eastern, and it is Monday, May 11. Thanks everyone for joining, and we're gonna go till about 10 a.m. This morning, and we've shifted over now to some New York, post-New York sessions for the next little bit, and moved away from the Tokyo for now. And we're gonna maybe continue New Yorks and post New Yorks with Dave, and go maybe throughout the entire summer until like September, and maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll come back to some Tokyo sessions, but I'd like to focus more on New York during the summer months. Maybe we'll get some better volume, and we also want to introduce, start slowly getting into a little bit of stock and options trading classes and education. And the best way to do that is during New York, because there's not much trading going on in Tokyo in the stock and options market, except for maybe some after hours trading or just like analysis and things like that. So we'll take it day by day, and we'll have some fun this summer, okay? And plan for today is we're going to do some top-down analysis on gold and NASDAQ, and get ready for Comex and Wall Street, and just go over this week's news, because it is a Monday, and we have to know all of this week's news and earnings. And if you guys are trading right now, just please use proper risk management, and let's get started. So in the news right now, there was some over weekend news regarding Iran, Strait of Hormuz. Iran says it will never bow as Trump rejects peace counteroffer, prolonging the Middle East tension over here. So U.S. President Donald Trump rejected Iran's counterproposal to end the 10-week war in the Middle East, calling it totally unacceptable, while Tehran vowed to never bow, prolonging a standoff that has choked the Strait of Hormuz and roiled and global energy markets. So if you're trading crude oil, you probably saw a little bit of a gap up this morning, and maybe it can continue where we're going to continue getting paying a lot at the pumps in the near future. Okay, so that's what's going on with this is, this can be breaking news. There can be statements said by Trump or Iran, like during this call. So we got to keep an eye on any breaking news. We are using Financial Juice over here on the left side of my charts. And if we see anything breaking news regarding anything, there could be some volatility. Okay, so please be careful trading, because then big volume can enter the markets. And if you're on the wrong end of that trade, you could suffer some big drawdown. Okay. So today's news, there's not much going on in today's news. You can see how light today's Monday is in the market. Let's go to Tuesday tomorrow. Tuesday gets a little bit busier. There is some news coming out of Europe. We move into 8:30, our sessions over here with Dave and myself, and we have US core CPI, CPI month over month, and CPI year over year. This is our inflation data, which will be coming out tomorrow. So it's a high probability that inflation is going up with everything that's happening regarding crude oil and Iran. You can see right here, core CPI. This excludes, whenever we see the word core, it excludes food and energy. Food and energy is basically our biggest cost of inflation. That's oil. So they're looking at a small, without it, they're looking at a small increase in the forecast, 0.3 from 0.2. With it over here, the CPI month over month, you can see that they're looking for a forecast decrease. I don't know if that's going to hold that number. It was 0.9 previous month, and now they're forecasting a 0.6. Overall CPI year over year, they're looking for an increase in the forecast from 3.3 to 3.7. Then tomorrow we have the Fed chair nomination vote. This is where last days of Powell we're going to see, and he's going to have his new replacement coming in. It's a high probability it's going to be Kevin Warsh. That's Trump's nomination, so we'll see everything regarding this week. Okay, we have our 10-year bond auction later in the afternoon during our session, just after 1 p.m. tomorrow, and so CPI Tuesday morning is the big news. Wednesday midweek, there's some coming out of Europe. We move back into North America. You can see USD 8:30 a.m. Eastern. This is when Comex market opens. We now have PPI coming out, core PPI month over month, PPI month over month. So first one was CPI, that's inflation. PPI is more producers price index. So this affects manufacturing, producers, and it looks like it's going up, the core PPI month over month, and it looks like the PPI month over month is, they're holding it steady at 0.5. We'll see those numbers Wednesday morning. Your weekly crude oil inventories every single Wednesday morning at 10:30 a.m. will be released. Then we have our 30-year bond auction in the afternoon and some speakers, okay? And then Thursday, busy week. You can see in Europe, pre-London, a lot of British news. And then we move into some holidays in Europe on Thursday, French bank holidays, German bank holidays, Swiss holidays. We move into our North American session, no holidays over here, straight news, red news, high impact core retail sales month over month, our weekly unemployment claims, and we continue with some low impact news and some FOMC speakers. And finally, to wrap up the week, on Friday, light day in the markets, not much going on. So you can see the big days are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week. Tuesday, CPI, Wednesday, PPI, and then we have Thursday core retail sales. Okay, so that's our news regarding Forex Factory. Earnings wise, let's take a look at earnings. You saw earnings the last 2 weeks have been have had a lot of tech securities reporting, the big name securities. Let's see what we have this week. So Monday before the open, these corporations will be reporting. No big names to consider. Monday after hours, Hims and Hers Health, Plug Power, Rigetti Computing. I've been talking about these. These are quantum computing securities. Rigetti, RGTI, this one QUBT, there's QBS, there's one I'm trading all last week is IonQ. IONQ. So I'm going to be watching quantum computing securities in the next near future, and pay attention to their earnings. Okay. Tuesday morning, tomorrow morning, here's the other one, this quantum one, QBTS. So you can see now after tech, now it's quantum computing securities earnings coming up. What else we got? No other big names. Let's move into Tuesday after hours. Oklo, Carmen Space, Defense. No big names, right? When I say those are big names, but when I say no big names, it's not the Apples, it's not the Nvidias, it's not the Teslas, it's not the Magnificent Seven securities. Okay, we have Alibaba reporting on Wednesday before the open. And Wednesday after hours, Cisco Systems will be reporting. Thursday morning, Brookfield Corporation. If you're in Canada, and Mark Carney, this is his corporation over here, and he will be reporting. There's a company called Bullish. That's cool. And maybe there should be one called Bearish in the near future. Okay. There's Applied Materials Thursday after hours. And so you can see we don't have like that other week where we had those big tech names. So these are just other names in the S&P 500 reporting. No big names unless you're individually trading those securities through options, or you're buying shares of the companies. Okay. So that's earnings. We went through Forex Factory. Discord, guys, we send out signals. This was last week, gold showing some buys, some sells, some buys with Scalper Pro. There was a signal that came out this morning at 6:09, looking for sells below 4665. We'll take a look when we do the top-down analysis, okay? And we do offer signals if you're a signal person and want some trade ideas and things like that throughout the week. Here's our free Telegram channel. It's pinned at the top of YouTube for everybody. Here's the live links for all of our YouTube sessions. Guys, there's a promotion going on, 50% off. So if you want to join the team, you get a premium access to Stock Sniper trading at half the price. You can join the community of elite traders in our Discord, and all the tools you need, indicators and things like that. What's included? You get real-time trade alerts, deep dive analysis, educational vault, all of our education. You get the Discord community, and much more. So use this promo code if you do want to sign up, SSTMay50, okay? And that will expire in a few days, so take advantage if you want to join the team, okay? And there is some news regarding this week, okay? So the peace rally Euphoria that fueled last week's record hit a brick wall over the weekend after President Trump rejected Iran's latest proposal, labeled it totally unacceptable, what we just read. So Brent crude is back above $105 per barrel, and we'll see what's going to happen this week with everything, okay? Today is the calm before the storm as we brace for tomorrow's make or break April CPI print and the final transition of Fed leadership. So this will be the last time we're seeing Jerome Powell for in those FOMC meetings, because his term is ending May 15th. And Friday, and Kevin Warsh is set for confirmation this week. So the market is hypersensitive to any data that could force the Warsh-led Fed into a hawkish stance. Stay sharp, stick to your size limits, and remember, discipline over FOMO trading, okay? And that's the free Telegram, has everything available in it if you like to join. And guys, here's your, if you come to the website, stocksnipertrading.com, here it is, the promo code. If you want to join the team, it is there. And live sessions this week. You can see Dave is in Comex this week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This is us right here, Monday, 7 to 10. And then we'll be coming after Dave on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for some post trading. Post New York, 11 a.m. to about 1 p.m. And Wednesday, we're going to have our first ever just stock and options call. We'll cruise the market. We'll talk about Magnificent Seven. We'll do some charting. We'll talk about the top gainers, and we'll see what's going on in the stock market and have a bonus session right over there. We will be adding more and more of these as we go along. And then Friday, guys, we have a post New York session at 11 a.m. Okay, so lots of sessions this week, New York, post New York. with Forex and stocks if that's what you're interested in. Education, lots of education on the website. You're more than happy to join and take advantage of all the education through courses, webinars, boot camps, everything on there, okay? And finally, guys, if you can give us a like, a subscribe, we do appreciate it. We're over at 97,000 and on our way to 100,000. Hopefully, maybe we can get there this summer, okay? Now, let's get into it. Let's start with gold, top-down analysis. This is how it's moving on the 5 minutes. So I'm going to do a top-down from daily, hourly, then bring it down to the 5 minutes. We'll add some alerts on our charts, and we'll see how everything is moving leading into Comex in the next hour, okay? Welcome, everyone on Zoom. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Good morning, everyone. Carla, good morning. Welcome, Nigel. ZZ, welcome. Bill, Christoph. Good morning, guys. Nigel, Mike, Tony, welcome, guys. Patrick, good morning. Justin, welcome. Country Cousin, good morning. And everyone on YouTube, thanks for joining as well. Okay, so let's get into it. I hope that you guys already have your top-down done on your securities, and you guys are ready. I'm just going to do mine, and going to get started on the daily on gold, okay? Oh, shit, I almost spilled my coffee. That was not good. Okay, so this is gold on the daily. A lot of you guys are very familiar with this. We hit the all-time high all the way up there, just below 5,600. Let's go way back and see when it hit the all-time high. That was all the way back in January 29. Okay, so it was a while. It was months back when we hit it. You can see when it came back up in March, lower high, pushed back down, came back up again over here in mid-April. They pushed it back down. Slowly, we came back up last week, and they got a rejection, and a bearish ignited candle starting today, which could see it continue to push down. Okay, so just moving from here, some zones. From the all-time high right there, big red zone. I know we're nowhere near it, but let's start off with some analysis. So we see when we came into it, they pushed it down, okay? And then now like a most recent low wick, I'm going to go with this one. Before I was going with this one, but we can see that we broke it. So let's just highlight this big most recent low wick. That was the Friday, March 23. I'm sorry, Monday, March 23. That was going to be considered a Black Monday if it closed down there. You can see it was a big black candle coming all the way down, and it was very bearish. And that was when Donald Trump, if you guys remember, we started a Monday session at 7 a.m. and at 7:03 while I was speaking, he said that the Strait of Hormuz is A-OK and it's ready to go. And the market bounced back up and came up. And you can see since then it came up, back down, came up, then the Strait of Hormuz closed, then it came back down, then he said it opened again, and now this is where we're trading with gold, and the Strait of Hormuz is still not open, right? I just read the article, what happened, what Donald Trump, he said it's unacceptable, and so we got continued tension going on. So now, from that lowest point, you can see it's 4,100. Is there anything below it? Is there a zone that we can identify? So then you got to look by that yellow line and see that there was a zone there. So what I mean by a zone is from that yellow line down there, there was a red zone. When that big bullish candle closed above, it turned the zone below it to green. If you stretch it into the future, you can see when that black candle came in back up, then that candle officially closed below it, creating that zone to be a red zone. And then you can see when it had the double bottom, came in back down, then the second leg bottom traditionally has more volume. It in fact closed above. So again, with the zone green, stretching it into the future, now I see it catches all that consolidation, continued to push out of there. That's what took us to the all-time high. So if I continue with that zone across, continue, I can see we are now moving away from it. It's making a higher low here and a higher low here. So at those higher low points, they are points of interest. You can draw a line there for interest if you like. right? So that's where the bodies are. I can look back, there's a wick there. It cuts that body 50% in half. So you can see it's holding good support. There was a double bottom that moved up. That was a big liquidity grab right there, where that big black candle came all the way down. Then they rejected it back up and came back up. So they got all of those pending orders from below 4,380 all the way down to 4,100. So they picked up all those orders and drove the market back up. Okay, so you can see where now we have the resistance right here. There's the bodies, body, body, wick, body, body. There's an impulse, impulse, impulse. So just above those impulse, those wicks, you can draw a red zone up there. Okay, and then see how we were trading in it. Where we traded in it, back down, came in it, back down, came in it, back down, came in it, back down, and they sent it down. So that red zone is still above us, okay? You can see we tried last week to get in there, but it failed. Lower highs, pushing it down. So now, you see how I'm just more consolidating it. Here's our next pivot right here of support. So this yellow line is higher than that yellow line. It's at 4,520. It is still technically holding some support. Are we going to come all the way down there this week and come down here? Maybe it might be a double bottom and take it back up, or it's going to break this and then we're coming back down to revisit these lows. Okay, now is there a structural candle that we can see from last week? This one right here on Wednesday. See how it was really bullish. It broke above these bodies, broke above those wicks, created new high and closed. So that's a good candle, structural candle, to find 50% of it or the point of control. So I'm going to do that with this candle. So I grab my Fibonacci tool, opening price to the closing price. Where's 50%? It's right there. Okay, 0.5. It's a nice whole number that I like, that those $25 increments, 4,625. That's right at 50%. It lines up right with those bodies too. It shows me that it was support back in April, early April. So now the only other thing is I need to find the point of control. So it's 382,618 of the Fibonacci. There's basically the golden zone, and that's your point of control. I make it bullish to represent that big bullish candle. You can go backwards and you can see how it was resistance there, resistance there, resistance. There's the blue structural candle that closed above, creating it to be now a point of control. If we do come into here, you can see today's low was very, very close to coming in. Maybe it will continue to come down and fill that wick and definitely come in here, okay? So what I do is I set an alert at that yellow line inside. Add an alert, create it. I can add an alert at this yellow line in case it comes down there, created. Add an alert at this yellow line, created. Okay, so you see I have now 3 yellow clocks, 1, 2, 3. If it comes down at these daily positions, I'm going to get alerted. That doesn't mean I just buy blindly, but what I do is I go to my particular time frame. If I'm an hourly trader, if I'm a 15-minute trader, 5-minute trader, 1-minute trader, whatever it is, and then I pay attention to these areas. My bias is to buy. However, if the volume proves otherwise and closes below, then I can switch to possibly be a seller, okay? Now, let's just follow the volume from Wednesday of last week. That big bullish candle made a high and closed. And then we opened Thursday, very bullish. It was bullish ignited on Thursday. It opened bullish ignited, came up, filled Wednesday's wick, filled all these wicks up to here. And then that was our weekly high where it got rejected. So let's just mark up as a point of interest last week's high. In case we do come up there, that's where we got a target to break the resistance. And you can see it got rejected right there. It got rejected on April 22, and it's still below 50% of that bearish structural candle. So you see how I did the exact with this blue structural candle? That's a black structural candle. See how it opened and it came down, it filled all those wicks, and it closed below this big blue candle right there. So that's a structural candle. That candle as well, you can do the same thing from the open to the closed, get your Fibonacci tool, find 50%, get your point of control zone and stretch it into the future, okay? So you got to be able to identify these candles. This is not a structural candle. This is not a structural candle. This is not a structural candle. This one is, and that one is, okay? So once you get the eye for these things, you'll understand exactly what you're looking for. And it's not that complicated. You're looking for bigger engulfing candles that engulf structure to the left of it, okay? So this was structure to the left, and there's the big engulfing candle that closed above it and has significant volume, 2 to 3 times more than this candle right here, okay? Now, continuing, then it got rejected, came all the way down, it broke its ignited open and closed as a shooting star. Next day, Friday, okay, it opened and there was a slight little wick, but then it came up blue, blue, blue. So you see it was trying to come up and fill that back wick and backfill it. It came all the way up to there, made a lower high and came down. Closed with some bullish volume. Now, look at how we opened over the weekend, okay? So gold did not open bullish. It actually gapped down. So it opened bearish ignited. So there's our opening price today, right there, 4,716. And it's black ignited, pushing down. That's our highest point of the day is our opening price. You see, there's no wick coming up. There's no bullish volume, okay? Absolutely nothing at the open. So I'm going to make this a purple line, and that is my highest point of the day, okay? And you can see it's very bearish. So it's been coming down bearish, 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 where it took out Friday's open, Thursday. So right there, we got support there. So I'm going to place another point of interest right at those bodies, yellow line right there. And it's at 4685, yellow line. Okay, so you see now the yellow line 4685 is acting as resistance right now. If the market comes back up, that yellow line could be resistance to push it down. If the volume can get above 4685, it could turn bullish and start to push up this black candle. But now the sellers are below it, so we have to respect them for that, okay? And they came all the way down. Sellers continue to push it all the way down. That's our lowest point right there, just below 4650 at 4646. So that's my purple line, representing the lowest point of the daily candle so far. It's still early. We have 9.5 hours to go before this daily bar will close. We still have to go through Comex, Wall Street, news, and the Post New York, and all of that. So things can change. It could come up right up, back up bullish, or it can continue to come down bearish. We got to see what is going on, okay? But you see the lowest point of the day is just right above our 4640, top of the point of control. It's a 4625 is our middle and 4608 is our bottom. Okay, we have not transacted in that point of control yet. It came almost, but then the buyers brought it right back up. Okay, so that's what we got going on. Also, we're trading at 4672 right now, $12 away from that. So I'm just going to add a yellow at that yellow line, one more alert there, just in case it gets there to that yellow line. That one is more, maybe we'll get an alert on our session, okay? And now I look overall at the daily, pattern, what I see. So a lot of us are very familiar with this. It came down, one bottom right there. It's essentially two bottoms, but when we're looking at the bigger picture, one bottom. There's our big neckline. So you can see, again, we had a double bottom there. So it didn't come all the way down there to get that double bottom. You see, it didn't come all the way down there to continue to break for some lows. The buyers have stepped in right here at 45.15, I would say, and holding it up with a higher low. And now they're pushing it, trying to get it to come back up to that big red box so we can break out. But you see, the sellers came in last week and said, no, that's not happening. We're here. They rejected it there, and to start today, bearish ignited. So you can see that there is a resistance there, and now they're pushing it back down. So we got to see, will this bullish point of control hold today or tomorrow or this week, or will it break and then it's continuing to come down here, which this could possibly break, then we're coming back down here, okay? And then that's where the bigger buyers could be to take it back up, because that's what started the whole buying spree right over here, okay? But there was damage done by those wicks, so it could turn bearish and we're continuing to come down, right? But do you guys see the overall pattern that it is right here? This higher low is holding it up right there, holding it up, but we're having difficulty. So we might consolidate. We might be in this consolidated range where gold just trades sideways in here for a couple days. Like right here, in this flag. Like where it's blue, impulse breakout, came back in. It was blue, impulse breakout, closed right there. Black coming all the way down. It could go up. We could come up blue, black. We could be trading in here for a couple days, right? Just like if these were 5-minute candles. If it was blue, black, again, it's just buyers and sellers are accumulating, and eventually with news or at some point this week, they will redistribute either to the upside if buyers accumulate more. If sellers accumulate more, then we could break and come down, okay? So that's how it looks on the daily. Now, what I do is I start to dissect the daily candle into hourly. So now I can see more closely how Friday each individual hour was trading. I can see Sunday and then going into Europe last night and see how it's trading into now. So here's over here. See, I can look at all last week. I can see Tuesday when it started. It started Tuesday. Futures market started to really push up. We pulled back, big bullish structural candle right there at Thursday at 2 a.m. pre-London, I'm sorry. And then when did we top up? Right there, Thursday, just after Wall Street, 11 a.m., come back down, holding. There's a lot of structural candles as well on hourly. You can find those, no problem. There's on the 5 minutes, absolutely anything. Here's a big kind of clue that the market did not want to move up right there. It came down, bearish ignited, pulled back up. That's a big structural candle. Definitely, if you can catch 50% of that, you can see when it came in, still held it down, pushed down. Then over here, Sunday night, here's where, gold got really difficult to trade. It was bullish on the hour, came back down. Bullish on the hour, lower high, came back down. Bullish again to open, lower high, then they slammed it down. So we made our lowest point of the day at 1 a.m., okay? And notice our highest point of the day is the opening balance. It's right at 6 p.m. when we opened on Sunday night. So that's what's showing that bearish ignited daily candle, okay? There was absolutely no buying. It was a gap down that they pushed the market down, okay? Our lowest point of the day, I can see, was 1 a.m. Then pre-London, 2 a.m., very bullish hourly candle, okay? Came back up. Then here's London, 3 a.m. back down. 4 a.m. it was bullish right up there. Again, back down. 5 a.m. brought it down. Now we're building. So here at 6 a.m. it's coming back up. 7 a.m. is bullish ignited on the hour, pushing back up. So you can see it's in basically a double bottom on the hourly right now at the lowest point of the day. Right there, one bottom. Here's our big resistance neckline, 46.80 to break. And it came back down. See right there. There's the higher low where the point of interest of those hourly candles are. And you can see now it's starting to push up to attempt to possibly break that. If it does break, see it's got to fill that wick behind until it gets up to that daily high. It could just come right up here and then go back down, right? It could be another impulse, blue candle breaking, get a wick, get rejected, and come back down, just like these over here. So if you're an hourly trader, you too have to also wait for hourly bodies to close as well. Now when we're trading, I can see that we've got some hourly support being created right here, 4656, white line. Okay, I can even raise it up to represent this hourly candle right now, starting this bullish ignited hourly candle. See how there was absolutely no drawdown on it. It opened strong and it's filling that wick. It's going to close in 23 minutes. So 4663 is holding good support currently, has not broke down yet. And then our resistance at the hourly is right here. There's an hourly wick. So there was 3 times, 3 hours that it got rejected right there. 3 equal highs, right there. At 1 a.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. Eastern, and London market open. 4680 is an hourly resistance right below that daily. So when I have a yellow and a white line like this, that little zone, I make a red box, right? Just at those lines, just to give me a heads up, if it's coming in there, that's where it potentially, the neckline is, okay? Now, does it look maybe a little bit more clear like this? To see how we're trading now on the hourly. Okay, so you see how it came down, found the support at the lowest point of the day. Nice big strong bullish candle coming back up, but you see it's got rejected there. We have 3 equal highs where sellers are saying it is not going higher than this. Okay, and then they pushed it all the way back down. And then the buyers said, okay, we are stepping back in, and they are bringing it back up currently, okay? So it could be a lower high and it could get rejected, or it could revisit the red zone, but we can see multiple times it's been rejected, so it could come in there and get rejected again. However, this big volume could break through there, maybe fill that wick, close above, then we change this to green and maybe catch a pullback, and gold is bullish breaking through there. Okay. And this hourly candle is going to close in 21 more minutes. Okay. So what we can do now is follow. Let's look at the hourly structure. We did that for the daily. So hourly looks like it was bullish coming through here, that big rally, right? Then it found some resistance. It pulled back. Then it broke through there, up there. And then it got rejected back down to that supporting level, came back up. See, it didn't break and continue, lower high. And then we had that leg pushing down right there. And then now we're building this double bottom to maybe continue to break out and come up here. It could be, even if it comes up there, it could be a lower high, right? And then they could push it down. But it is still technically, if we're looking all the way from back here, this rally on last Tuesday, it's bullish. That's a higher low. Like if you draw that across, you see that big bullish rally, still above that daily point of control, still strong. But we do have to acknowledge that there's sellers here, a lower high here, a lower high here, a wick there, a wick there, a wick there, and a red block now. So there is sellers still active in the market, okay? But we'll see what happens if it comes up here or if it goes down. Now, on the lower time frame, on the 5 minutes, if you're an intraday scalper or watching these things, okay, these are the 5-minute candles. So I can see 5-minute candles at 1:40 a.m. Eastern were bearish. Then they came back 2 a.m. Notice the hourly momentum when I always talk about that, right at 1:55, and then 2 a.m. started the bullish run back up. And I look at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. started where it came up to that resistance, and then they pushed it right back down. Didn't come all the way down. I stopped at that hourly white line. That's the support, coming back up, and then they broke it right there. So when it came all the way back down, see when the buyers came in right to that hourly, there's a 5-minute double bottom where it came down, neckline, back down, didn't come down to double bottom. That's that clue, higher low. Now you got a body close. Look how it just consolidated, blue, black, blue, flag, big volume pushing out, again, another flag and volume pushing back out. So maybe we will, on the 5 minutes, revisit that red zone, okay? So that's what maybe we got to watch for and see. And I've seen it got rejected there, got rejected there, got rejected there, rejected there. So maybe it comes in here again and gets rejected. However, it's coming with some big volume. You can look at the bigger leg like this. That's one bottom. That's all the neckline. Right there's the second bottom. Now we got that leg coming still through here. But you see, buyers need to break through this red block up here, okay? Because it's still there. The 5-minute candles haven't even made an impulse break above here. Nothing. Okay, and now when I'm scalping 5-minute candles, here is a 5-minute structural candle at 7 a.m. It's bullish, ignited. Look, it closed above all of these candles, and it's got abnormally large 2 to 3 times more volume than these candles. That's a candle that I do my analysis off of, right? Just like I did on the daily and an hourly, there's a 5-minute structural candle. There's my Fibonacci tool from the opening to the closing of that candle, right? Where's 50% of it? It's right there. Look at all those wicks. It had a wick, a wick, a wick, and a wick, and a wick. Right there at the 50%. Is there a point of control, bullish point of control zone? Yes. Using your Fibonacci, it's right there. So you can see every single one of those wicks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all came into that bullish point of control, pending orders, pending orders, pending orders, pending orders, pending orders, and redistribution. So you see, it did not break below that. I could look for sells below it, but no bearish candle closed below it in order to flip it red to continue to sell down. Do you guys see what I'm saying? How you need to identify structural candles. That is a structural candle. How do I know this? Because look at the previous structure. Blue, black, impulse, drop, right there. That candle broke through with closing volume, okay? So that's how I know that that's a structural candle. Does it make sense? I did that on the daily. I figured out the daily structural candle. So same thing I did. Let me just go back and show you. So remember these daily candles? I did it with this one. Look, it looks like the same thing, right? Black, blue, black, and in the big candle that closed above, I cut it in half, found the point of control in the daily. I did it with the hourly, right? We went to the hourly. Was there an hourly point of control? You know, I could have done it with this candle if I wanted to, okay? Do you guys understand that? I could have done it with this candle. Why? Because look, there was all the hourly structure. There's the bearish candle that closed below. I'll do it right now, okay? That's the opposite. This is a bearish candle. So put your Fibonacci at the start open price. There's the close, okay? Can I find where the hourly 50% is? Yes, it's right there, 47.03. There's a white line. Can I find my bearish point of control of that candle? Yeah, it's easy. It's right there. But it's not a green. It's a black candle. It's bearish, so it's got to be a red zone. And when I stretch it into the future, now you can see when that big blue candle came in right there, right into that bearish point of control, got rejected. It came in again right there, and they rejected it down. So that block is still above us, okay? If we break this, if this hourly volume breaks this block, it's got to come into that next one, and that one is the one that's protected right below the lowest point of the day. So that one might still be respected, and look at it. It's a nice psychological number right at 4,700, okay? And now when you go to lower minutes, the 5 minutes, you look for the same thing, okay? There it is. If I go to the 1 minutes, I'm a 1 minute scalper, okay? So 90% of the time when I'm trading, I'm on the 1 minutes. Okay, is this a 1 minute structural candle? Technically, it is. Did it look? These candles were just trading inside barcoding. That candle was bullish and closed above all of this structure, right? All of this. So that's a 1 minute candle. You could definitely cut in half, figure out the point of control. It did try to come down, right? But not at the halfway point. I'm guessing that that's a halfway point. I don't need to guess. When you got a Fibonacci tool, you don't need to guess. Okay, there it is. Where's the point of control of that bullish 1 minute candle? If you're a 1 minute trader, you can do the same thing I do, right? And set an alert in there. If it comes in, it comes in. See how close sometimes it was black, 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 but did not come inside, and then it came back up. Again, black, 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 and missed it, okay? So sometimes it misses because it can't come in there. And then, but look at it, it's still bullish going through there. Okay, you can do these for any time frame, any security, as long as whatever you're trading is on a chart and you can see the candles and you know what you're looking for, you could definitely do it. Okay, so this is what we got going on. We're in this little bit of an uptrend coming from down here where it made a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Okay, so we're in a bullish channel right now on these 5 minutes right here. This is our bullish channel. Okay, any questions about that? Does this analysis help you guys? Do you guys have pretty much same levels identified on your charts? And it's 7:47 right now. So in 13 minutes, it's going to be 8 a.m. We can expect some hourly momentum, volatility coming in. At 8:20, it's Comex market open. So all gold traders should know that. That's the commodities exchange. At 8:30, normally we have North American news. We don't have anything today. We have CPI printing numbers tomorrow. Okay, and then just looking back to the left, like right now it's pretty obvious. So someone can say, oh, Ron, that's pretty obvious. Well, if it's obvious, then mark it up on your chart. See that black candle that came down? I can already see a blue candle tried to come in, rejected, 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 impulse, rejected, impulse, rejected, came back down, came back up, impulse, rejected, black candle, leg down. I can see it just came in right now into that same red line there, and they've rejected it coming back down. Okay, so when you see something like this, mark it on your chart. So, and especially when it's already, you can see it in the past, right? Someone will say, oh, Ron, that's easy. Well, if it's easy, then put the line on your chart. That's great that it's easy to analyze that. Okay, don't make trading difficult. You see, it's 5-minute candles could not break right there. They tried impulsively. You see the big black leg that came down. Then it came back up. And again, that same right there, that same red line, pushed it right back down. We came up slowly right there again to that red line, and you can see it's continuing to push down. Okay, so when you see things in the past, that's why I always say, place a line and stretch it into the future, because they'll come back and react at that same line. Check your spreads too if you're going to take any trades. I have a 0.5 spread. That's what I like to see. So I have better spreads that come New York time than I do in like the Tokyo sessions. We also have a sell signal set up below this green zone around 4665. So to activate like that sell signal, we got to get bears to come down here, break that, close below, so we can invert that big, strong blue point of control, that close it down there. If it comes back up, maybe that will be a red zone. Then we can look for a sell and then to continue to break down. Okay, but you can see it hasn't came down there yet. Okay, so we'll continue to watch that. Okay, so on the 5 minutes, what we can see is there is a resistance now building at that red line. It's building, it built in the past, and it's building right now. Okay, so that's the one top coming back down. We might find some support and it might come back up. So maybe we look for a double top up there. If I now go backwards, I can see right there, kind of came impulse, black candle back down, retested it, pushed down. If I go back here, I can see impulse. I don't see any blue 5-minute candle closing above this red zone. Okay, I see impulse, and another little impulse. So this is still a red zone, right below that bigger red zone above us. Okay, so it's still holding. Armand, you're in a sell from now? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, it could find some support, because like there is the one bottom there, that this red zone is like the neckline, and then there's that second bottom. So you see when I always say the second leg traditionally has more volume to break the neckline, it came right up there but did not break it. So now it's coming down. So what we got to see is it going to continue getting higher lows and come back up to try and break this? Or will it come back up and it's a double top and then start dropping back down, then break this, and then we're dropping down further, okay? And I understand why you guys are selling, and I know why some of you guys are buying. It makes sense to me. I understand, okay? Everyone has a different bias. Someone might be looking on a different time frame. It's all good. But what I can see is overall is from the top, you have from today's daily open right there, big drop. It came back up right there at that hourly point of control, lower highs, rejection, came back up, lower highs, rejection, came back up, lower highs. Then they really dropped it down, the sellers. It found the lowest point of the day, and then it came back up right there. It's struggling to break that, came back down. That higher low should have broke bullish there, did not. Then the sellers brought it all the way back down. Now it's forming that double bottom on the 5 minutes at that daily low, and it's coming back up. But again, the buyers failed up there. So now sellers turn to start dropping it down. Now, I just want to see how it will react again in this green box. Because right here we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wicks for almost 30 minutes where it held good support here at 4667. Okay, so we got to see again if it comes in here, if it regains support and comes back up. Maybe what we got to identify are some structural candles. Okay, I'm not in a trade, but I'm analyzing. So maybe I might find a structural black bar that could close below. I'll cut it in half. I'll wait for a position, whatever. But that was a black candle that came all the way down again towards those wicks, and now it's coming right back up. Okay, this candle will close in 1 minute, so we'll see how it closes. I can add some EMAs if you guys want on the chart. 9 EMA. Okay, so the volume is still above the 9 EMA. Okay, so that's, short-term bullish. Our 200 EMA is right up here. The purple line is in our bigger red zone. Maybe we'll come down lower and revisit this red zone. I can go add our SST daily bar indicator like on a higher time frame. Okay, I have it on the 15. I can put it on the 30-minute. I can put it on the hourly. I can put it on the daily. Okay, if we want to put it on the daily, we just go to settings. Up here, it's on the 15-minute, 30-minute, 45, 1 hour. If I want to put it on daily, we can see how the daily candle is. Okay, so look at the daily candle. Okay, so you remember our opening was very bearish ignited, came all the way down. So right there is where it made the lowest point of the day. We came back up, got the resistance, came back down. So that candle is still building that wick, and it is pushing up. So this 5-minute double bottom, this bottom and this bottom is what's pushing up all that daily bearish volume right up to here. Okay, but it's still very bearish. Okay, so for buyers, they gotta break through this, they gotta break through this in order to maybe flip momentum and come back up. Sellers could just continue to come down and then refill that wick and continue dropping and take out the lowest point of the day and continue dropping down. Do you guys want me to keep it on the daily bar on the side, hourly, or 15-minute? I trade, like we're watching the 5 minutes, but what higher time frame bar would you like on the side here? To me, it doesn't matter. Whatever you guys want. Hey, Raldo, let's do it. You love the 4-hour? Let's try the 4-hour. We haven't done that in a long time. Perfect. Let's check out the 4-hour. Okay, so I go, guys, to my daily bar indicator settings. From the daily, I change it 4-hour. So what it's going to show me now is the 4-hour. So look at the 4-hour. It's completely different, right? When I show you that big bearish daily candle, now the 4-hour is showing me a bullish candle, okay? Because it's showing me the first bottom and the second bottom being filled up. So it's a completely different structural candle, completely different bias, right? So let's go with this. And can someone tell me when this 4-hour candle is going to close? How much longer do we have before this one closes? When did this 4-hour candle open and when is it closing? Because we get a new 4-hour bar every 4 hours. Who can tell me that? And I can see this candle opened very bullish and came up there, coming back down, still bullish. $6 a.m. Well, if the new 4-hour candle started at 6 p.m. when the daily candle opened, 6 to 10 is one 4-hour candle. 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. is another 4-hour candle. 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. is another one. So this one is representing 6 a.m. This one has been open for almost 2 hours. So it still has 2 more hours to go before this 4-hour candle closes. And then it will close at 10 a.m. So this is representing right here, 6 a.m. right there, starting right there. So all of this volume is represented by this 4-hour candle, which is going to close in 2 more hours, okay? So if you're a 4-hour trader, you have to know that. You got to know when your 4-hour candles open and when they close and what block they represent. This is a pretty big, significant 4-hour candle on gold. Why? Because it represents New York market, pre-market open at 6 a.m. It represents 8 a.m. It represents 8:20 Comex. It represents if there's 8:30 North American news. It represents a little bit of Wall Street open at 9:30 and any high impact news. And then it closes at 10 a.m. So it's a very, very important 4-hour candle, especially on gold. Okay. So it's showing me it's very bullish, right? Some brokers have different closing and opening by 1 hour. So if your Oanda is showing you 5 a.m. to 9 a.m., and then you just are opening at a different time. You're not opening up at 6 p.m. Your daily candle is probably opening up at 5 p.m. Okay. Brokers have different, so you got to be aware of your own broker. Okay. But you follow what you're following. If it's 5 a.m. to 9 a.m., that's the 4-hour volume you're following. Okay, so you see we're getting some support there, support there. Sellers came down, but the body didn't close down there. It came back up and closed right there. Again, this candle came back down black, and the buyers pushed it right back up. So we're still in this consolidated range. We did find now where our 5-minute support is right here. There's 4 wicks right here. 1, 2, 3, 4 at 46.70, still holding. So now it's trying to come back up to test the double top up here to see if it's works or if it's going to be another bullish breakout. Guys, we have 300 viewers on the call. If you guys can hit the like button, subscribe. You know, we're going to do a lot more New York sessions coming up this summer. So I don't see any structural bars. That's not a structural bar. That's not a structural bar. All I see is a pattern that I recognize, a double top coming up, you know, neckline there, coming back up. There's the second top. There's the M, but it could come down again, get another wick and try and come back up. What I want to see is a big black candle, like engulfing something so that I can base something off of. Maybe I can cut it in half. Maybe I can catch a pullback because it could just come down a little bit more. Catch, yeah, that's what I mean. Catch that wick and then come back up. Okay, so I don't want to trade in this range up here. I'm going to continue to wait it out. This is now representing 8 a.m. So 8 a.m. has opened now. This is the new hourly candle as well. I can look back at the last hour and now see how all of 7 a.m. traded. So it was a bullish hourly candle, came all the way up to here and closed pretty strong. So it's got a lot of hourly volume behind it. And now we're opening up at 8 a.m. right now. Okay. So it's got potential to continue to drive through here. But what we're watching is the lower time frame to see on the 5 minutes if this red wall can hold up and push it back down. If it closes above here, that red wall can turn green and gold is continuing to be bullish. And don't forget, Comex is in about, what do we got? 17, 18 minutes. That's the commodities exchange will be opening up. That has volume and volatility. Did anybody watch the UFC on Saturday night? Sean Strickland versus Hamzat. Good fight. Montreal Canadiens won last night, up 2-1 in the series against Buffalo. Montreal's here to win the Stanley Cup. Yeah, Hamzat's first loss. He doesn't belong in that weight category. He's a bigger. He didn't look good, right? He looked like he was dying when in the weight cut. It's not his weight class. He needs to be in the higher weight class. Yeah, he looked exhausted. You're right. It's hard to cut 20, 30 pounds like that. Yeah, he looks skinny. He's depleted. Yeah. And you got no energy. And imagine going in and fighting a guy that is as tough as Sean Strickland. Like it's not for him. Geraldo Montreal Street was crazy yesterday. Oh, you went out there. Nice. Okay, so now we got a big black candle. It's going to close in 20 seconds. Maybe this could be a structural bar. Okay, so the second top held up, right? So it came up, back down, came in there. There's double top. M for Montreal coming down. Okay. Okay, so did that close below the structure? That's the question. It did not, okay, because the structure is down here. Wick, wick, wick. Okay, so what I can do with this candle is it's still bearish. It closed below this inside structure, which is still important. Can I cut that bar in half? Yes. So if it comes up blue, 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 it might come into this bar and get rejected down. Unless you kind of want to take this ignited sell right now, but it could just come down, break a new low, and come right back in. Okay, so we're getting some development. And we're 15 minutes away from Comex. We're starting to see something, okay? Do we need to trade right away? You can, or I'm going to continue to wait it out, seeing what's going on. Can the sellers break this green zone? Because that's where most of the buyers are. They were there, they were there, they were there, they were there, and there. So if this leg is coming down, it could come right down in that green box and come right back up. Sell or buy? I don't know. Just relax. How about that? You do what you want. You can sell or buy. Do what these guys are doing. They're doing it in this candle. You got sellers and you got buyers now. Do what they're doing. I'm waiting. You do you, I do me. That's exactly what's going on in this candle. You see sellers and you see buyers. So you be one of these people inside this candle. If you're buying, it's going up. If you're selling, it went down. Do what they're doing. And learn from it. You'll either make money or you're going to lose. Welcome to the world of trading. What do you want me to tell you? Just use proper risk management. So if you lose, you don't lose as much. If you win, you're learning and you're winning a little bit. That's it. Otherwise, wait on the sidelines with the rest of us. Okay, so is this volume going to come back up and maybe retest? There's a point of interest right there. There's a body, about 50%. Will it come back inside there or no? It's still, in this range from the red to the green zone, like right here. To all of our buyers and sellers, it's just in here. It moved up, buyers, sellers brought it down, buyers could bring it up, but there's this big red block above us and this green block here. So it's still consolidating, okay? Just in a bigger zone. And you can measure it, like from the bottom to up there, it's about 60, 70, 80 pips. So that's your zones right now. It's still in here. Maybe during Comex, it might break out or break down, okay? But if you're just looking to scalp individual candles, okay, you got what you're looking for, or just hold off. Okay, so we're looking for that sell at right over here at 4665. So let's just place an alert there just in case. Okay, 4665 right down in here. Okay, so if you were in buys, you see that it's clearly you have a wall up here, there and there, and it's still a wall up there. Okay, so if you were in buys, you have to be honest with yourself too. Okay, you're asking for a lot to break out of there. Out of there, it failed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, and then failed again 2 times right there. Failed again 1, 2, 3 times there. There's the double top that I was just talking about. Okay, so you see how it held up, came in, back down, second top, bigger volume, continued to push it down now. Now we're coming back down here where there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullish wicks coming out of there. So it could come in there and then turn up blue back up. Okay, so but let's see now if the sellers can break through this and close it below with a black candle, because then momentarily we can flip this green zone to red. Maybe we'll get a further push down in here. Okay, but I respect this green zone because in the past here at 705, 710, 715, 720, 725, it was all buyers that pushed it up. So we're coming right back in here now. Can you sell? Absolutely, go for it. Why are you asking me if you can sell? If you feel like it's proper sell, go hit the sell button. But just use proper risk management. That's it. That's all I say. You can buy, you can sell, you can do whatever you want. I'm not here to tell you to do anything. You do what you want to do. But don't hit a sell and be over leveraged and blow up your account, because that's just stupidity. But there is those people that do that. Okay, so again, it came in there. It's got a wick. It hasn't closed. 2.5 minutes. Still a lot of time. It could continue coming down. We're getting closer to Comex now. Okay, so it's about 8 minutes away from Comex. And also, if you're a seller, you have to also respect this green zone as well, okay? Because in the past, it's showing a wick, a wick, a wick, and a wick, and a wick, okay? And I don't trade with it would have done this, it should have done that, it could have done that. If I was in a sell, I would, from here, here, or here, or here, wherever, I would be taking my stop loss and going to a break even. I would be scaling out of my position maybe 80%, and holding 20% with a break even. If it does eventually break this, or if it moves down with the Comex volume, great. That's additional profit. But I would be securing the bulk of this load when it comes down here. Same with if I was in a buy, I would have done the same thing in this red zone. Okay. I respect the zones. And I know that, yes, they can break. I know that. But when you look over here, you could have said that 15 times. It didn't break there, didn't break there, didn't break there, didn't break there. And over there, same thing, didn't break. Okay. Imagine you were in a sell on this candle. It came down there and you see it go back up. You're in a sell, you see it go down in there, come back up. You're in a sell, you see it come back up. You're in a sell, you see it come back up. You're in a sell, then you see a bullish engulfing candle close above the structure. And then you're still in your sell, you see it respects the point of control of this candle. You're still in your sell, you see this. And then it comes into the red zone. That's where the bigger sellers are, okay? So here could be where the bigger buyers are. The bigger sellers could be down here if this officially closes below, comes back up, this is a red zone, then they break it down. Why am I saying that Comex has closed? When did I even say that Comex has closed? What are you talking about? I'm saying Comex is opening in 5 minutes. It's the complete opposite of what I just said. This is what I mean. No one pays attention. And you want to learn how to trade. To learn how to trade is one of the hardest things to do and to learn. And I just said Comex, I'm being patient because Comex is opening in 8 minutes. 8 minutes. And you're telling me that I said it's closing. Comex closes at 1:30 p.m. I'm pretty aware of that. Oh, God. I thought New York would be different than Tokyo. It's just the same shit. Yeah, I think I need to disable the comments again. That's when I was calm and cool and not reading. Yeah, I'm going to try to avoid reading the chat, guys. No disrespect, but it's just no one is listening. So it's just, what is the point even reading it? Okay, I'm going to repeat this. Pay attention. Comex is Commodities Exchange Open. Okay, it is opening at 8:20 a.m. Eastern. The time is 8:16 and 30 seconds. So we have 3.5 minutes till the Comex market opens, not closes. It closes at 1:30 p.m. That's a long time away from now. Okay, we have the open, not close. Okay, now there's going to be some volatility coming up in when it opens, okay? So it could definitely break down with that Comex volatility, or it could come back up, or it could just trade in here with some whipsaw action, whatever it is. If you're in a buy or a sell, I just hope that you're using proper risk management. That's it. That's all I'm saying. If you're over leveraged, it's on you. You got to learn how to control your leverage. If you're trading with too big of a size for your account, you will learn. When you lose, you will learn. You'll learn the hard way, just like the rest of us. Someone keeps telling you trade with proper risk management. You're not going to listen. You're not even listening when I'm saying that the opening of Comex is coming around. So I know that you're not paying attention to risk manager. That's probably the last thing you're worried about. But for traders that actually want to do this for more than a day, more than a week, more than a month, more than a year, you need to focus on proper risk management. You got to have some sort of plan. So you see how that black volume came into that green zone? if you have some sort of plan, you probably would have scaled out of your sell there and realized some profit, because that's where those buyers are. I tried to say that 10 times on this call. There's a wick there, a wick there, a wick there, a wick there, and a wick there, and there's a wick there and a wick there now, okay? And we're still in this range, red box, green box. If you don't want to listen to rules of trading, that's fine. It doesn't hurt me. It doesn't hurt my feelings. If you don't want to realize any profit down there, that's on you, not on me. Now you see it's coming right back up. It could come right back up and break this now. And then you're scratching your head why you pissed away 80, 90, potentially 100 pips. For what? Did I not make it visual that that's a green zone? To break a zone, you're asking for a lot. You're asking the market to do a lot to break a zone. Even if it's a 5-minute zone, it's still a structural area in the market. Now you see it came back up, rejected with lower high. Now you see the volatility is coming in. Because why? Because we're 20 seconds away from Comex market. So now they've rejected it. So it could open black and come down, but this is going to be volatility. Get ready. Here we go. There's the close, bullish, open, bearish, ignited, come down, quick wick. So if it comes up blue, it should be able to fill that wick and continue to trade into this red zone. If the sellers are here, they're not going to let it fill this wick. They're going to just keep it lower high and start bringing it back down. But we're still trading in this zone. So if you want to trade in here, you're welcome to, or we see what happens up here or back below here. Still inside here. Okay, so now it's bullish. So it did, in fact, fill that wick. So now it's coming back up, trading in the red zone. So this is where we had a rejection, rejection, a rejection. We had multiple rejections, but now it's Comex volume. It came through this zone, picked up all those pending orders. So it could technically break right through here for a new high, okay? And you see, and break through here, and then all of these sellers, their stop losses are probably up here. It could go and activate those. Okay, so now we're getting a breakout. It's breaking above that wick. Here it goes breakout, okay? And it was all Comex volume breaking through here. Now, how high is it going to go, okay? Look at our previous resistances right here at that hourly white line, okay? So it came in there again to that hourly, now getting rejected back down. This candle has a lot of time to close, 3.5 minutes. So you see it came right through there, rejected back down. Will it close above here? Will it close back below here? Will that be a rejection wick? Will it come back up and fill it? Gotta wait. But you see how Comex volume and volatility can change the direction and everything. But see how the market naturally came right back down right before Comex into that, picked up those orders, and now driving right through here. Okay, we're here for education too. So hopefully you guys are learning. That's a big bullish candle. This could be a structural candle, right? This might be a candle that closes above all of this structure. That definitely could be a candle we cut in half, find the point of control. It'd probably be, red zone flipping to green zone. Now look at it. All of that Comex volume had enough volume to break the daily point of interest up there, the yellow line, okay? So this is strong. And if you were in a sell coming down, now it's time to learn. It's time to learn. You wanted it to break this zone where it's showing you that candle did not break it, that candle did not break it, that did not break it, that did not break it, and that did not break it. That entire leg down did not break it. Captain Boom, you bought the green zone? Perfect. Like, that's nice. Boom, I would be at if you bought that green zone, definitely be at a break even. You can maybe trail this candle depending where it closes, cut it in half, have your trailing stop loss just below the halfway point, because if it pulls back and catches a higher low, you can continue with this candle. But excellent. Yeah. Good job. That's a big candle, guys. You know, like if you took out 80% already, I don't blame you, because a move coming up there, holy shit, 250 pips right now. Fuck. I would be done trading for the day with that candle. I would be saying sayonara to you guys. Have a great day. Au revoir. That's my French Canadian right there for you guys. And I would be like, daily goal met. We don't need to sit here anymore. Good job. Some of you guys got 200 pips in and out. Good. You bought a green zone. The sellers came down there, but remember what I was saying? I want the sellers to prove to me they can close below here. They didn't. Okay. We were looking for sells right there at 4665. Not there. Buyers are there. Araldo, au revoir. You're done for the day? Perfect. Get ready for Tuesday night, Montreal, game 4. We're going to go up 3-1 in the series. Okay, so this candle now has closed. Okay, so it's a big candle, right? Look at the structure, this red zone. So let's just grab our Fibonacci and let's just go from the opening to the close. Look at 50% is right there in the red zone, right in between. Okay, look at the point of control. Look at it. 6382618. 618. It is our red zone, that exact red zone we have. All we got to do is flip it green. We don't even have to do anything. Do you guys see what I'm saying? There it is, that entire zone from that candle. We did this with the top-down analysis. We didn't do it now. Okay, do you guys understand what I'm saying? That's why when you do a top-down analysis, it can set you up for success when you're trading. Look at how that exact zone is playing out right now in real time. There's the 382-618. It's that entire zone. I don't know if anyone's paying attention, but I know these things. I hope someone else is paying attention, because someone not listening doesn't care. That's fine. I'm trying to help you guys with your future of your trading, but some people do not care. That doesn't bother me. I know how to do this. I hope you guys are learning too. So you see how that now plays out exactly. The candle opened, bearish, ignited. So it's coming down to maybe come back into this zone. Now you got a 200 EMA in there. So if you're looking to buy a pullback, you got to wait for it to come back into here. Sometimes it's not the next candle. Okay, it might just avoid it by a little bit, come back up and continue breaking out. Okay, but I'll set an alert for the rest of today's session. This one, obviously it's better to buy down in here or here, but the market might not come down there. And 8:30 is coming around in 2.5 minutes. We're getting a new 30-minute candle coming up. There's no news at 8:30 today. Nor tomorrow there'll be news. Okay, so tomorrow when you're trading, you're going to get your 8:20 Comex market open. You might get something like this tomorrow. And then at 8:30, they're releasing the CPI high impact US folders. So today we don't have anything, but tomorrow will be a different conversation. So now, where could we go? Okay, if you're long on gold, it could come back into this red zone. This is an hourly resistance, okay, at 4,700. The bottom is exactly 4,700. The mid is 4,703. The top is 4,707. Okay, we're not there yet. We've got a high so far. And remember, you guys said the 4-hour candle was bullish. So does that show you that that bullish momentum 4-hour candle? You know, like if you're trying to short this, we put the 4-hour candle. Okay, guys on the Discord recommended it, and it's great, showing that it's still very bullish. And we have a new 30-minute candle opening in 20 seconds. If you want, you take a look at your 30-minute structure. You got a 30-minute candle that could be closing above the 30-minute resistance. Okay, and we've already got it marked in half to wait for a pullback potential. Okay, and then there's, if you're continuing drive on the 30-minute or hourly, that's where you got to get up to, that red zone I told you. And it's right below the daily high. Okay. So now we're getting 8:30. We don't have any US news at this time. Tomorrow, again, like I said, different conversation tomorrow. Tomorrow you'll have CPI coming out at this time. Okay, and then look at the 9 EMA meeting the 200 EMA right in here, right at this red line, like at that 46.82. So that could be a potential golden crossover. You know, like if the market comes back down in here, that could be a potential buy order, right? And then to take it back up and get it up to there, it could maybe, you know, impulsively break that, come down to this location. That would be a better buy. And then it comes back up. Okay, so I have an alert set and I'm patiently waiting. It has not came into the zone yet. Okay, yeah, I saw that candle came down, and then when I didn't buy that, I'm waiting patiently for it to come into the zone, just like maybe how it came in here, came in there, how it comes into the zones. So I've missed out on it. Okay, so I have to continue to wait for that. Otherwise, I have to buy this highest point right here, and then that's when they could drop it on me. And then I'm in drawdown. Okay. Part of trading is learning to be patient and disciplined. I know for a lot of traders, they don't understand that concept. I get it. That's why, you know, a lot of traders are saying, Ron, why are you not buying up here? Because I understand that you don't understand patience and discipline to wait in here. I was that guy too. Believe me, when I started trading, I was always buying highs. This was me buying up here. Then it would come all the way back down. I would get stopped out and then watch it go back up. Right? This was me buying the breakout high and then losing, selling the lowest point. Why are we not selling when it's that low? Because you sell the lowest point and then they bring it back up, right? So I learned over the years from all of my mistakes, and I added up all the money I lost in the markets. It was a lot. So then I learned how to better to wait. I know for YouTube, it's hard to understand this concept. But regardless, I'm going to wait. I know it seems silly to some of you guys. Why is this guy waiting? He must be a shitty trader because he's waiting. If you want to buy, buy. If you want to sell, sell. Doesn't bother me. Just all I'm telling you, just use proper risk management, because if you make a mistake, you're not getting your account blown out like that. Imagine, and there's someone in the group, I know that went high leverage sell at this point, and they got their account clapped right now. Okay? There's somebody on YouTube. There's someone maybe doesn't want to say anything, but I know how most of you guys trade. It's not rocket science. Dave and I are here every single day. We see what you guys say. It's pretty much the same shit every single day. Doesn't matter if you're in Tokyo, doesn't matter if you're in London, doesn't matter if you're in New York. So the reason when I'm waiting here, there's a method to my madness. While I'm waiting here, do you think I'm the only one in this world that's waiting to buy a pullback in here? No. If you look at the depth of market is a queue. It's got pending orders that could be building right now as I'm speaking. A pending order could have just came in. Another one could come in. Another one could be coming in. As the price of gold is up here, this pending orders could still be continuing to come in here. And they're pending for a reason. They're waiting to be executed at some point. I know right now it's not happening, but what about in 20 minutes from now? What about in 30 minutes? What about 1 hour from now? If it comes down in here, activates all those pending orders, and then goes up, then I'm in profit. It just sometimes works out like that. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it will come in here, pick up those pending orders, and continue going down bearish. It happens. But I rather trade with these pending orders because I know it's higher probability of being successful than trading with FOMO traders up here. They don't have a good track record. Yeah, the market rewards you with FOMO trading, but if you try consistently to trade on FOMO every single day, it's not going to work. I can tell you that. Market rewards bad trading. Market rewards bad behavior once in a while. Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you do things. Market rewards you. But if you try to repeat that every single day, it's not going to happen. Okay, so you see, it's bullish ignited. It's still, whatever caused this move, it's still running, right? It has not came down into here yet. And then if you're considering selling right now, just wait for it to come into the bigger red hourly zone, because then you'll at least be selling with bigger sellers. If you just sell right here, it could continue to go up. It could pull down a little bit, find support, and go back up, just like it did here, right? If you're considering a sell, wait for to come into the hourly point of control. Maybe there. Maybe that's where it will be a better sell. To bring the market back down to this green zone, then if it comes down there, those are where those buyers are pending to bring it back up. And then you got your new zones, red zone, green zone, just like how we had before here. This was a red zone, green zone. And then it had that impulse breakout during Comex. Okay, now you got a bigger hourly red zone, which is right below today's daily high. And then now you got this strong green zone that's being built right now. That has not been activated. No sellers have came in here yet to pick up these buyers. It's still moving. And if you're trying to sell this, you're in trouble right now, because you're trying to sell this overall strong bullish trend right now. And at 9 a.m., we're going to do NASDAQ to get ready. We're going to do top down on NASDAQ and get ready for Wall Street market open and see how NASDAQ moves in Wall Street. We'll do NASDAQ in a moment. Some of you guys I see TP hit. Good for you guys. Congratulations. But don't overtrade today. If you hit your TP, I don't know, maybe you're well on your way to your daily goal with this move. It's a strong move. Then you can end your trading day. That's fantastic. That's what you want as a trader. Be done by 9 a.m. Go on with your day. Repeat tomorrow. You don't need to continue to trade if you hit your daily goal. That's why you should have a daily goal. But I know some of you guys are like me and just want to stare at the computer and stare at the candles all day. That's fine. But if the weather's nice, go outside and enjoy the weather. Go get some fresh air. But before you leave, give us a subscribe. Join us. We'll be daily here with you guys in New York now. New York and post-New York. Wednesday is a stock and options. So it's going to be our first session that we're going to start. Just going to talk about some stock market, right? Just for like a beginner class. Look at the Magnificent Seven, some top gainers on the day. Why are they moving? We'll do some top-down analysis on some of these securities. We won't be looking at gold. You can see we have all of these other sessions that are trading Forex. This is dedicated to stock and options. If it's not for you, don't join, okay? But if you want to learn something new, you're absolutely welcome to join, okay? Because I know when we go on that call, everyone's going to say, Ron, gold, 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 oil, 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 gold, gold, gold. We won't be doing that. Those are for all those other sessions. Okay, if it's not for you, don't join it. Okay, so I don't really follow this indicator RSI, but I know a lot of retail traders do. So with that big move coming out of here at 815 and Comex and all the way up here, it's telling me that gold is overbought right now in the 5-minute time frame. Okay, so but I don't see it coming down bearish, right? So this is a false indicator. Don't fall in love with this indicator. Just because something gets overbought doesn't mean it has to come down. Just because something is oversold does not mean it needs to come up. I've seen it stay overbought and oversold for multiple hours, okay? But what it's telling us is it is overbought, so we could see some pressure to push it down. But it could just come down a little bit. One candle, like a black candle, could cool it down and then come right back up blue, okay? So now we're starting to see came up, coming back down. There is some support right here at these bodies, these wicks creating higher lows. You know, we might need to see another double top. Maybe we need to see it engage in here where the bigger sellers are to bring it down. Let's see. This candle is going to close in 3 minutes. So it found some structure already. If you go back now, you see that big black candle that closed below. If we cut that in half, right about there, right to that wick, that's where it was in the past, where we had that big bearish candle close below. It came back up blue, 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 and got rejected right there. Came back up lower high, and then started that big push down. So I can see with this big volume, we did close above it, but now it's coming back down. So will this black candle close engulfed below structure and create this red line as a resistance? Because if you're looking for a sell, this could be an opportunity to potentially look to take the market back down to maybe this green zone. And if it does come down there, if you're in a sell, like from that red line to that red line, you're up 120 pips. And that's where I was saying those pending buyers could be waiting to bring it back up. Okay, so it came down, right? Higher low, coming back up. Where will this body close? Okay, we have 90 more seconds. So yeah, it was nice. Black came down. What I was saying about the RSI, cooled it down, right? Cooled it down, coming down to that 70. But now we're going to follow the closing volume. The volume is more important than an RSI indicator. The volume will tell us exactly where it closes. Is it closing below this bar? This bar? Is it closing near the low? We'll get more context out of it when the bar closes. Price action is real time. Indicators are lagging. They print after a candle bar closes. Then it extends your RSI, extends your EMA. Okay. As much as I love indicators, I love price action more. And now we're getting closer to the close. 15 seconds. Okay, so it did close engulfed below that candle. So you see that red line, it's basically the cut line of that black candle. So if it comes back up blue, it could get rejected to come down and potentially fill that wick and get into that green zone. That's where potentially the buyers are waiting to buy a potential pullback. It could continue to just consolidate here, blue, black, blue, and continue breaking out and coming up to here. So when I'm acknowledging a consolidated zone, could be right here. Where most of those bodies are now trading, where it's blue, black, could get another blue candle coming in here. But when it's blue, I like to see if it will get rejected right there. See, it's blue right now. Coming right back in. Okay, so now it's reached that 50% point of that black candle. If the sellers are here, we should see a wick pushing this blue volume down. However, if it's still bullish candle could engulf that and continue to fill these wicks and continue to drive up to the bigger red hourly zone. Okay, so we're in a bull flag right now, but it's still consolidating. Blue, black, blue. Now it got rejected. Okay, so now it could definitely start to trade as a shooting star candle, break that wick, and start to come down black. As it came down black, it encountered again at the opening balance, buyers buying it right back up. That's that blue volume coming back in. So let's see again if it holds its rejection and comes back down. So now the candle's refilling itself and coming back up. Maybe this might be an opportunity to go long, right? Okay, I'm going to buy. It came down and then it went back up with the opening balance. I'm going to buy to see if it will continue to fill up, get up to and engulf that black body above 4696 and potentially fill the wick 4697, fill that wick 4698, maybe get up to 4700 could be my target to that psychological zone. So I'm going to buy on gold. Just want to see if it will continue with this bullish volume, continuing to drive up there. We have a strong 4-hour candle, which is building. Okay, but also to see if blue volume can close above this structure. Okay, stop loss placement. Okay, that was just for like a 1-to-1. Where could I place my stop loss? I'm just going to leave my stop loss right there. Okay, it's going to be a short stop loss. Let's see if we can drive into that red zone. That's a nasty rejection. So I'm going to get possibly stopped out right now. Did you guys see that nasty? I'm stopped out. Okay. Stopped out because of that nasty rejection. Stopped out. Okay. Guys, the trade is done. We got to talk about this. Okay. So you see how it was coming up nice and bullish and they rejected it. That's why I kept a tight stop loss. Okay. Because this is where they could really redistribute the volume down there. So I'm stopped out, okay? I don't like that volatility, the way how that bar is trading. It's very volatile. Okay, so I'm out, and then I could watch where it closes now. So it was coming up nicely, blue, 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 and then they slammed it down. Did you guys see that? I saw that. That's why I told you guys, I'm getting out of this bar. I don't like when that volatility comes in like that, because they could have slammed that down. I got out, and it could have been a big black candle coming in to trade into this zone. And with volatility like that, it could break right through this zone, get all of those pending orders, and continue dropping down. So I don't want to be part of that. Okay. Now this is a big bearish candle coming down. Now let's follow it. Okay. I tried that buy. It did not work out. That's why I exit. I don't need to sit there and hold that buy and pray and hope that it goes up. That candle rejection told me everything. It's quick. It came up and boom, they slammed it down. That's when I verbally told you guys, I'm out. I'm out. That's all I needed to see. I don't need to hope and pray that it's going to continue to go up. That candle told you everything you needed to know regarding how strong the resistance is up here. That's it. Make a decision. And now let's watch the close of the bar. See, I went out before the candle even closed because I don't want to stay in on this shit. I didn't give it a big room to breathe. I told you it was a very, very tight stop loss. Okay, so it did close below here. So it's still bearish. Okay, now it's coming back up, blue ignited. I don't want to now buy and sell in this. Okay, this is when trading gets very frustrating. You sell, now you buy, then it comes back down, then you sell, and then it comes back up. I don't want to play this. Okay, because that candle showed me the range and lots of volatility. I will now sit on the sidelines and continue to wait, possibly going into 9 a.m. Maybe the market wants to come down and trigger in this green zone and then come in here and pick up all those buyers. So as a scalper, I'm a scalper. I make decisions quickly. I know for someone who is on the YouTube and says, okay, he bought, why is he still not holding it? Why did he get out so fast? That's a scalper, okay? Even when I go into profit, sometimes I go out and take my profit. When I see something is not going, I get out, okay? So that's the difference between me and some other trader that's looking to hold for hours, okay? That would have been, I maybe would have held that trade longer if it was blue and it closed above there and could have built with it. But as soon as it came up there, it was building and then they slammed it down, okay? It was very fast. Like I can show you on the 1 minutes. It was here where it was building up, and then it opened and they slammed it down. That's when I told you guys, I'm getting out on that 1 minute at 8:47. Now it's building its way back up, okay? I'm out now. I could have had my stop loss down there and still been in. I'm not, okay? So I don't talk would have, should have, could have done that. I decided to keep a tight stop loss. It got activated, got triggered, and now I got to continue to watch what's going on. But this is where gold plays with your emotions. It's like with sellers and buyers, okay? It can get very frustrating trading this stuff. But I see lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Sellers are still active, still there, still offering. They could take out this bullish open candle, fill that wick, and drive more into this box. And then that's where that point of control has not been tested. That's what I like to see if it gets tested. Yeah, we're on the 5-minute time frame, low time frame. $9 a.m. I'm going to do NASDAQ, and then I'm going to take a quick little break, go to the washroom, grab a coffee for anybody, and then we'll come back and get ready for Wall Street at 9:30. Does it suck that you get stopped out and then you watch a blue candle come back up? Yeah, it sucks, but that's trading, okay? I don't get rattled by this. I don't get emotionally involved in this. I made a decision at that point in time. Sometimes it's a good decision, sometimes it's a bad decision, but the decision is made. That's it. And you got to live with it, okay? As a trader, you got to live with your decisions. Whether they're good ones or bad ones, you got to live with them and you got to learn from them, okay? Could I have made a bigger stop loss below the green zone? Absolutely. I didn't. Okay. I kept a tight stop loss and it got triggered, and that's it. Do I see another blue candle coming back up? Yes. Should I jump right back in just because it's blue? No. You got to continue waiting it out. So I'd rather wait now for something to happen up here or something to happen down here. I don't want to trade in this cluster of garbage in here. It's buyers, sellers, buyers, could be sellers. Again, we're in this range, ranging to see if it will go back up or ranging to see if it will come back down. And at 9 a.m., there's also going to be volatility and momentum. So if you're in buys or sells, just be aware. Come 9 a.m., there's going to be a little bit of volatility. Okay, so now it's bullish. Let's see what happens in the hourly red zone up here. And just to show you on the hourly, what's happening here is this big, massive hourly candle, okay? Backfilling this wick, backfilling this wick, and that's the highest right there coming in. So right in there, that's an hourly zone right there. It's that hourly point of control from this big bearish candle coming down on Friday at the close, okay? So it's coming right back in there. So if you're on buys, just got to pay attention to this red box because our daily high is just right above it. So if the sellers are here today, maybe they're going to push this volume down. If the buyers are strong, maybe they're going to cut right through this and attempt today's daily high and have a very, very strong bullish day. Okay, but we're watching it here on these lower time frames on these 5 minutes. And now it's coming right back up. So if you're trading with tight stop losses, things like this can happen. You can get stopped out and watch a trade go. So in that situation, when I'm looking back reviewing this, maybe I should have gave it more room to breathe below this green zone. I could have been in the money, but didn't happen. So no excuses with that. But one candle got me. Okay, so they came, they grabbed some liquidity, and that was enough to bring it right back up. But let's see now what will happen in the bigger red zone, because we were trading in no zone here, just in this range. Now we have a bigger zone up here. And you still notice that the volume has not came back into this whole candle at 820. Comex market open the first 5 minutes. That big bullish candle still has not transacted in that point of control. Okay. It came close and it came close and kept going up. Has not came in here yet. So I still have an alert in there waiting. And now we're going into 9 a.m. with 30 seconds. Why am I ignoring this yellow line and only on this red line? Well, you don't need to ignore the yellow line. The yellow line is the top of what it is this candle. I identified the point of control, right? So the yellow line is representing the top of it. The white line, hourly, is representing the bottom of it. The red line is just the cut line right in the middle, okay? I was waiting for the volume to come into this to look for buys. It didn't. Higher, low. But if you were acknowledging the L line, that's fine. That's the daily point of interest, higher time frame. Okay, so gold, very bullish, breaking through that hourly point of control and not too far away from today's daily high. Okay, so if we go to the daily, just give you a better understanding. Remember how bearish today's daily candle was? Like, look at it. Holy shit. It's about to flip. Look, this was today's daily candle. The bearish open, bearish ignite. It came all the way down here. Black. When it hit that lowest point of the day there, it's been coming up past that line, past there, all the way through now that hourly red zone. And this is a hanging man candle, but it could flip. And then you got nothing above 46.16 until it continues to backfill maybe Friday's wick. And this could flip into a hammer and be very strong to continue to come through here. So the only thing that can hold gold down are the opening sellers of today to continue to hold this head down and bring some black volume back down. Okay. Otherwise, you see the big rejection wick of the buyers, and they've rejected it on the hourly right down here at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. it came up, then it came back down, 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Bulk of the volume was Comex market open, that 5 minutes that we're showing you, and the hourly candle is still advancing right through here, okay? When you look at it on the 5 minutes, the majority of that bullish volume is right there, that candle right here, 8:20 a.m. Eastern, Comex. That's why we have it marked for the point of control. If it does pull back into here, could be an area to look for buying pullbacks, but did not come in yet. Okay, so still very bullish, not too far away from today's daily high and the opening price right there. Okay, if gold closes above this red zone, flip it green, and it could pull back in here and be buys to take you to today's opening price or higher. Okay, if it comes back down and closes below here, the red zone could still be holding, and then maybe we get a little bit of a pullback coming down. Okay, so I'm going to go off gold for 5 minutes. I'm just going to do a top down on NASDAQ. If you guys are watching gold, please watch it on your charts. I'm just going to go to NASDAQ real quickly. NASDAQ, this is how it looks on the 5 minutes. Let's do a top down, start from the daily. NASDAQ has been very interesting as of late. Okay, holy shit. Look at NASDAQ on the daily. Unbelievable, okay? So one mark of a zone right here, that's where it was a previous all-time high. Stretched into the future, double top all-time high, push down. Now, volume has closed above. So that zone on NASDAQ could be a potential demand zone. And you see the last few weeks, it's just been moving bullish, has not came into here. So what I would do is add a yellow line either at the top of that zone, at the top, at the middle, or the bottom, wherever you like, okay? I always like putting it right in the middle and add an alert. Maybe it will come down here next week, next month, next year, who knows? But at least we get alerted, okay? So we're trading in all-time high territory. So this is all price discovery up here. We don't know how high or where resistance is, so you got to use some sort of psychological advantage, psychological numbers, whole numbers, okay? So that's today's high is our all-time high. What do we got? 29,315, okay? So if it continues to drive, just go 100-point increments if you like. From 300, what's the next one? 400. And just right there, 29,400. I could do a yellow point of interest. The next one would be 500. I would put more emphasis on 500 because that's a bigger number, like a whole number, 500, 1,000, 1,500. And then if you go smaller, if you're a smaller scalper, go 400, go 425, 450, 475, up to 500, right? So that's if it continues to drive up there. Now, this big bullish candle is on Friday, lots of volume, okay? So that's one candle worthwhile cutting in half to see if it pulls back into it today, okay? So there it is, the open close from Friday, halfway right there, 0.5. What number is it? 28,900. That's what I mean by those psychological 100 point numbers. There's the bullish point of control of that candle. Okay, I can stretch it into the future and wait for a potential pullback to maybe buy in here. Okay, I add my alert for this week. It's there. I can continue to dissect a little lower if I like, but right now we just got to worry about today's daily candle right now in here. Okay, so following Friday, where's our close and open? Right here, 29,250. It was bullish, which created our all-time high today. Okay, so our all-time high is our highest point of the day, and then it got rejected back down. Sellers took over all the way down there where we have a low of the day. Our low of the day is a higher low. Okay, and then they pushed it right back up to where we're almost at the opening balance. Today's NASDAQ could flip during Wall Street, be bullish, and create a new all-time high to potentially 29,400 or 500, or this little doji candle continues to hold selling pressure, and then we come back down. We trade at our lowest point of the day, and then they come down and trade at the top of the green box to 28,985, or to the midpoint, or to the lower point, okay? Now, with that daily candle, you obviously look at the entire, holy shit, very, very strong, okay? So if you're trying to sell, look, there's small pullbacks, go up. That small pullback, continue go. 2 days of just consolidation and some spin tops, and then continue bullish. 3 days of pushing down, higher low, bullish. One spin top candle, bullish. Thursday of last week was bearish, but then it came back up Friday. So it's just like 5 minutes. If you're trying to counter the trend, you're in trouble. You might as well just trade with the trend or buy pullbacks. But if you're shorting, get your money and get out, pip and dip, just like on the daily, just like when you're scalping. Otherwise, you're in big trouble, right? So if you go from the daily now to the hourly, let's take a look at where did all of this hourly volume come from? Okay, so big hourly Friday was 9 a.m. Wall Street, big push, 10 a.m., 11, there's noon, 1, 2, power hour, 3 p.m., close of the day was very bullish. And then we've been trading very choppy. Okay, now you can see how Sunday we opened right here and it was just blue hit the all-time high at futures market, and then it came back down, and then blue, and then just, wow, just really tight trading. So there's midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., there's London, there's 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. So even the hourly candles are just consolidating at today's daily low and the all-time high. So even if you were to trap all of these hourly candles and treat them as if they're like 5-minute candles, that's it. We're in this range. Bearish, bullish, bullish, bearish, bullish, no volume. This is very difficult to trade, frustrating to trade. And, you know, is it going to trade in here all day, all night? No, it could potentially close above there and have a new all-time high. Or sellers now are coming in and going to push it down and break the low of the day and drop. Okay, that's what we have to watch for today and for Wall Street. Okay, there's nothing really to base any hourly point of controls off of. These are all same size candles, no big structural candles. We've already got this one already identified. So not much to do on the hourly. Okay, if you go into the 5 minutes, these are how the 5-minute candles are trading now. So that's when we hit the all-time high, was 8:30 during the futures market. It tried almost to come up to the all-time high right here at 7:30, failed, coming back down. So what I would be watching for during Wall Street market open in the next 20 minutes is what will happen at today's lowest point of the day? Are they gonna, you know, maybe do a liquidity sweep, come down, take out some liquidity, come back up to drive it back up to a new all-time high? Potentially, will it come down, close below, retest this? Then NASDAQ is selling today. Or is it just going to continue to build up, close above here, and Wall Street try to break that new all-time high? Potentially. Okay, so right now it's just trading sideways right in here. If you want to mark up some support resistance areas on your 5 minutes and you are a scalper, look for your pivots. Right there's a 5-minute pivot holding. It held right there. It's holding right there now. We're not too far away from a daily point of interest and the all-time high. Okay, so that's NASDAQ. You want to add your indicators, 9,200, SST daily bar indicator. We can keep it on the 4 hours, what we did with gold. So I got to go to settings and put it on H4. And look at the 4 hour of NASDAQ. Very, you know, indecision. So it opened, it was bullish, came back down bearish, coming back up bullish. So it's a spin top. So not the greatest 4 hour candle, just buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. And it's just in a range, okay? So that's what we got for NASDAQ. And we'll come back to this in a moment. And gold, okay, so gold is very bullish, closed above that hourly, right? Don't fight the trend. Closed above it, just now make it green. So we're trading at the highest point of the day, and the daily candle has flipped, right? Look at it. Holy, look how aggressive. That was a massive black candle all the way down there, and the buyers in the last 4 hours have flipped it, and it could turn bullish and start to potentially backfill some wicks here. But these are large wicks to fill too. So it could come up just a little bit and then get rejected back down today. Okay, but that's a very strong move. All coming out of Comex. That first 5 minutes, continuing to drive. Look at that really silly indicator. So it just cooled off a little bit on just that 2 5-minute pullback, and we're right back to being overbought again, trading at 80 RSI. Okay. Guys, I'm just going to go to the washroom, grab another coffee, and come back. I'm just going to leave it on gold for you guys, and I will come right back, okay? I'll be back in just a couple minutes to get ready for Wall Street. Wow, gold is gone. So gold on the daily has flipped. 4-hour bullish volume. So you guys just witnessed a gold bearish ignited candle that started the day. I came all the way down there and flipped. And look at it. Wow. So it's a bullish hammer, potentially filling Friday's high. So you can mark Friday's high just to give you an idea of where its resistance is. 47.49, 47.50 on the dot at psychological level. And if it breaks that, its next resistance is Thursday's high at 4765. So unbelievable. Wow. Okay. So that's very bullish. Look on the 4-hour. It was basically this entire 4-hour candle, which is going to close in 40 minutes. Very bullish. 1 hour. You can see nice little double bottom breaking out. Comex was the volume that brought it through there, and it's continuing. Short wick on the hour, popping, continuing to drive. And on the 5 minutes, it's unbelievably bullish. And the RSI just continues to creep up to 83, 84. That's what I mean. It's a very deceiving indicator. And it's just continuing to drive right through there. Okay, so we'll watch gold going into Wall Street as well in the next less than 10 minutes. NASDAQ is another security we're watching right over here. There is some news, guys. So if you come to this Discord at our indices over here, current most headlines today. So there's some headlines on US 30 Dow, headlines on NASDAQ 100, headlines on DAX. So if we just click on NASDAQ, AI-powered chips rally rages on, Intel Micron stocks pop. So there's articles here from Barron's. So Intel, 14%, Micron, 15%. Like these AI chips have been powering tech, powering NASDAQ as of late, and very, very strong. So there's an article here on all of that. If you want to read these articles, why mid-cap stocks are stuck in no man's land, U.S. futures edge lower as Trump rejects Iran peace response and oil prices climb. So all of the news is there, okay? Could be a long opportunity at 29,210. Let's take a look at that, 29,210. I'm just going to mark it on our charts here. 29,210. It's right here now, but I'm going to watch and see how Wall Street market opens. If you want to go in prior, just reminder of volatility in the next 6 minutes before we get there, okay? And you see, if you're trying to short gold, you know, it was black, just coming down, going back up. Wick, continue going back up. So counter trading is not ideal, guys. You know, trading with the trend is the best strategy to do in trading. It's clearly in a bull trend. So just, you know, wait out for pullbacks, maybe back down to here. So this purple line, you see how it has not came back down to it. The purple line was today's daily high. So it could be, you know, a resistance if it pulls back down here. This zone is still valid. It hasn't came in there. If it comes all the way deeper down in here, obviously better buyers down here. Holy, that is bullish. Is anybody in a buy or holding? Because if you are, your daily goal has been met. It's a strong move. Do I expect a pullback on gold? Yeah, I expect a pullback, but you know, maybe it doesn't happen for the next little while. Maybe it just continues, just small little pullbacks, and then it continues to go. Absolutely. or we got to wait for it to come to these bigger daily points of interest. Maybe that's where bigger sellers will be to push it down. But, you know, I wouldn't fight it right now. It's very bullish. If there's no pullbacks, there's no pullbacks right now. That's why right-clicking this purple line, setting an alert, that helps. And just wait to see if the market will come down there. Maybe later today, it may come back down. Very bullish. So Micron is up. It was up 16% on Friday at the close, and Micron is up 7% in the pre-market right now. So Micron is very, very strong. Intel Corporation was up 14% on Friday, and Intel is up 6% in the pre-market right now. That thing it's been on a rocket ship ever since Donald Trump mentioned Intel. Nice. You got your trail stop. Perfect. That's nice to do. When you got a nice running trade like that, and they do happen often, and when you're a part of it and you get that and you have a trailing stop loss and it keeps raising your trailing stop loss as the price continues to go up with no big pullbacks, that's perfect. Good for you guys for doing that. That's a way how you can secure all of your money behind. Reese's, sorry if I found our channel and been watching for nearly an hour, but learned lots. Good. Continue learning. Thank you, guys. And I appreciate that. Guys, if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. We do appreciate it. And we'll be here daily with you guys this entire week for New York. Dave, if you want to join the private Zoom and the Discord community, Dave does Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. He does Comex and Wall Street. Us, the rest of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and Friday, will be coming up post New York. So we're going to be starting a little later at 11 a.m. After Wall Street, and then we'll be going till about 1 p.m. in the afternoon. And then we'll have a Wednesday afternoon, 1:30 to 3 p.m. Just a 90 minutes of a stock market session, just going over some day-to-day stocks, some top gainers, and doing some analysis in the stock markets. Slowly but surely, we're going to get a little bit more stock trading involved, but we're going to start off with 1 or 2 sessions per week to get started. I'd like to show you guys that there's another side of trading that you don't always have to just watch gold all day. Okay, there's another financial market in the stock and options market, and you can trade some of those big names that I just mentioned: Intel, Micron, Nvidia, Apple, Google, Amazon, Netflix, Costco, Walmart, Chevron Gas, any of those big names. You know, if I have on my watch list right now the quantum computing securities, IONQ, QBTS, RGTI. A couple of those have earnings this week. Last week, IONQ had earnings, really good earnings, solid earnings, and then they dropped 10% after earnings. So it was like a buy the rumor, sell the news event. If you believe that quantum computing is the future, well, add those securities to your watch list. Okay, so in 5 more, here's Wall Street. So I'm just watching NASDAQ now, Wall Street. Okay, so this is where we're going to get some volatility right? It's Wall Street market open after a weekend. AMD reached an all-time high at $461 a share. Do you guys remember just a while back, AMD was trading under $100 and now it's trading at $461? Micron reached an all-time high, almost $800, $793. Holy shit. Tech sector is on fire. There's no stopping it right now. The strength is unbelievable. Okay, so this is the first minute of Wall Street. Big, strong bullish candle. If you got in at 210 on that buy signal that was sent out on Discord, you are up 60 pips right now if you're already in. Otherwise, I'm just going to wait for this body of this candle to close. It's this far away from a new all-time high, this orange line. Okay, there was a buy signal sent out at 9:05. Long NASDAQ at 29,209. So that was right over here. Is this going to be a structural candle? Is it going to close above all of this? Is it going to close with a new all-time high on the 5 minutes? Wow. Gold is still bullish. Bullish ignited candle on gold still driving. Oh, new all-time high coming in soon. Okay, we've got a new all-time high printed, 310. Congratulations to all of those long holders. Your retirement savings accounts are probably doing very well. Your RRSPs if you're in Canada, or your pensions with your work, or your Roth IRAs in the United States are doing really, really well because they are invested in the S&P 500. So when the markets are at all-time highs, your portfolio is looking really good. Holy shit. That's strong candle, guys. This candle, if it was to close like this, definitely Fibonacci from open, close, cut it in half, figure out the point of control, could come back down in there later today or next bar. But that's definitely an abnormal sized candle compared to all of these other ones. Could close above all this structure. New all-time high breakthrough. Unbelievably strong. Gold is still strong, okay? Still very overbought on gold. RSI is still up here and it's still driving. So don't get caught selling just because RSI is high. Same with NASDAQ. Now it's starting to break out, get overbought. Wow. Did anyone enter a buy from the Discord signal on NASDAQ earlier at 10 after 9 at 29,210? If you did, you could have a trailing stop loss. You took it, Mike? Congrats, man. Awesome. Shout outs to Dave for that signal at 210, driving up to 350. It's a big, like 140 pips, 150 pips up there. If you got it, if you didn't, that's fine. Okay. Now, that's a structural candle, new all-time high, closed with massive volume above all of this structure. So I just go through what I do. Okay. So opening price, closing price. Where's 50% of it? Right there. Look at the number, 29,275. Is there a zone? Yeah, it's right there. Okay, can I wait for it to come back in? Potentially. I can add an alert there. Okay, so now you see it's a bearish ignited candle coming right into that potential zone. Okay, so now it's could be triggering pending orders in there. It could cut right through there. Maybe this is a Wall Street fake out, create the new all-time high, suck in buyers, and then now reverse it back down, and then it's bearish coming back down. We could technically see that as well, okay? So right now it's trading, transacting right into that bullish point of control of that first 5-minute bullish volume from Wall Street. However, we got to be careful here because it did create a new all-time high. So there could be massive sellers that are selling it down because they don't believe that that should be a real all-time high for NASDAQ, okay? So now you see it cut right through that zone so far. So if this candle closes bearish below here, we invert this green zone red and it will be a red zone and could have further potential to drop down, okay? Okay, this is lots of volatility, lots of volume. Wow, dude, you got 600 pips on gold and everything is closed? Holy shit. Congratulations, man. That's a weekly goal for most traders. 600 pips. That is amazing. Good job. We're on the 5-minute time frame. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. This the daily the indicator over here is on the 4-hour. It's on the 4-hour. Okay, so NASDAQ, you can see we've got a lot of volatility in NASDAQ. Gold is, holy shit, this thing is so strong. Okay, RSI is at 85 and still going. Let it go, right? There's nothing you can do. Don't try and sell this thing right now. I know someone is saying, well, it's got to go down. It's got to go down. How can it continue to go this high? Because that's how the markets move. You know, sometimes there's no explanation why it's going so high. It's just going so high. Okay, do not short it unless you start to see like where it came up, then it went back down. If it came out, then you see double tops, and then you see something like that could give you an opportunity to sell, but it's not there. Every single pullback is a higher low. Bullish ignited opens, small pullback, continue to be bullish. Wait for your daily points of interest at these yellow lines. Maybe that's where the sellers are. Okay, so NASDAQ is going to close now in 50 seconds. So it cut right through there, came to that daily point of interest, caught a wick, still transacting in that green zone. Might close. Next candle could be blue and back up bullish, coming off of that wick. It could close inside here and still be black on the next candle. Okay, 30 more seconds to go on NASDAQ. If I have one more trade, I got one more trade in me on this session, and then that's probably going to be it. I'll save another couple trades for mid-afternoon if I'm going to trade. That's perfect. You learned the style and you tweaked it on your own. That's perfect. Yeah. Everyone's going to have their own objective, what they do. As long as you can take maybe a little bit of what we teach and make your own analysis after that, that's fine. You know, we're not saying you got to copy this cookie cutter approach. You do what you got to do Take a little bit from what I do, take some from what Dave does, take something from Borex, take something from anyone else in the Discord, put it together and make it make sense for you. Like, I'm not a swing trader, so swing trading doesn't make sense to me to swing trade gold, right? In Forex, it doesn't. So I'm a scalper, and scalping probably doesn't make sense to you if you're not a scalper. I understand that. I'm not forcing you to be a scalper. All I'm forcing you to understand is that all candlesticks have the same characteristics, and if this was a 4-hour bullish candle, you got to find the point of control of that. If this was a daily candle, you find the point of control. If it's a 1 minute, 5 minute, find the point of control. That's it. All candlesticks have the same characteristics. You can all do that. That we can all do on the same page, all of us. But where I enter, where my stop loss is, like on that buy on gold, I told you guys, my stop loss was very tight. It was very tight. I got stopped out on that black candle, and I could have been part of all this volume. And someone said to me, well, Ron, your stop was too tight. Okay, I understand that. But I know that on these calls, a lot of you guys are over leveraged. So that plays in the back of my head. Could I have placed a bigger stop loss? Yes. And I wanted to place the stop loss below this point of control. But if I did that, someone would say, oh man, you have such a big stop loss. So sometimes I don't want you guys blowing up your accounts. Okay. Because I know some of you guys trade very silly. I still don't know how to get this out of my head to not worry about that. If you can't manage your own risk, it shouldn't be my responsibility. However it is, I feel like it is my responsibility. I don't know why, but it's just start a stream and you guys will find out. Open up a YouTube channel, teach what you guys know, and then you'll see when people come in, take some buys or sells off of you and they blow up accounts, and then see how you feel at the end of the call. You'll probably feel like shit because you feel responsible for them blowing up their accounts when you shouldn't. I took a loss and I didn't blow up my account. I don't know. I don't know why. Okay, so it's still building in this green zone, right? See, it came down, closed in, it came back up, came down, still transacting in the green zone, coming back up. It's still black candle in here. Could it curl back up? Absolutely. It could. This is our new all-time high up there, 29,345. Could it come back up there? Yes, it could. Could it come up there and be a double top or a lower high and then they send it back down? Absolutely. Could it just be, this could be the black candle that comes and closes below, then that zone will turn green to red and then it's got further selling pressure. That could take out the entire candle that started Wall Street with that big bullish move, and then it starts coming back down. Look at, we're not too far away from the lowest point of the day on NASDAQ. It was basically really consolidating until just Wall Street market opened up. And it was very bullish right after that. Okay, so we have a new 15-minute candle coming in 90 seconds. I know it's worthwhile taking a trade right now, but I might just hold off for the first 15 minutes. Some of you guys are ORB traders. Some of you guys maybe are figuring out the first 15-minute high and low and waiting. That's fine. That's a good strategy as well. Lots of traders do that. So instead of trading these 5-minute candles, maybe wait on your 15-minute candle. Maybe mark the high of the 15-minute, which is the all-time high, the low, and you wait the rest of the day to see if any bullish 15-minute volume will close above the high. Could give you buys for the rest of the day. If it comes back down, closes below, you could be selling the rest of the day. Okay, now it's barcoding, blue, black, blue. We haven't lost the control of this bullish zone. Okay, we haven't lost it yet, but maybe if I want to enter here, I might as well just wait for another 30 seconds for a new 15-minute bar to open, because I know that the next higher time frame candle can change the momentum. Like if I enter a buy here and I don't wait the 30 seconds, a new 15-minute candle opens and it could be bearish ignited coming all the way down and put me in drawdown, right? So when in doubt, wait it out. I know for some traders, they don't understand that. They don't understand it. I understand. I understand that traders do not understand that. As silly as that sounds, but sometimes the best trade is no trade. Just continue to observe and analyze. Okay, so we're still back inside here. So has this green zone broke down? No, has not. Has it? Has it broke down? Yes, there, but has the sellers, have they closed below it to invert it? No. Okay, So it's still bullish, okay? This is a new 15-minute candle that is building, and we're not too far away from creating a new all-time high, that orange line. Okay, so now it got rejected. Is it coming back down into here? Is it holding? Is it going to build this bullish volume right in here? Okay, I'm going to go on a buy and see for it to break this all-time high, maybe come up to the next psychological zone up there. My stop loss is going to be placed below the green zone. That's it, okay? That's as much risk, reward, like how much risk I'm giving it. So if it comes back down into drawdown, I still want to see if the green box will hold up and come back up, right? My stop loss is just below it, because if it gets invalidated, I do not want to be in this trade any longer. If it comes down black there, it stops me out, because if it does, it could close below there, then come back up, and it's now a red zone, and then it's coming down to there, or potentially coming down there. So I'm not going to give it any more potential risk. That's good enough for me. I'm right below that point of control. Now all I got to see if the buyers are strong enough to ask to trade at the all-time high and create it to go higher. That's it. If the buyers are not here, then they're not going to be here. So I'm going to test out this. Probably be my final trade of this session. And gold, holy, gold is on a tear. So gold has hit a daily point of interest, a psychological number, 47.50. This is now where there could be some sellers in the market interested in selling this down here. Okay, then this could be the first, move down. It might come back up. Then you look for like the double top and see if it comes down. We know it's extremely overbought on the RSI. It's sitting at 85, 86 up here, but it could still break through there. Dude, you left 180 pips on the table. I know it. It sucks when it happens. That's why trailing stop losses, scaling out method, it sucks leaving money on the table, but got to learn from it. You got to learn from it. That's why I don't play the would have, should have, could have game. If you get the big move, you trail your win behind. Take out a certain portion if you like, 50%, leave 50% running. I do an 80-20 rule is personally what I do. I take out 80%, the bulk of the trade, leave 20% running. Everyone does it differently, but it does suck leaving money on the table. It does suck. Okay, it happens to every single trader. Okay, so gold finally has found a selling point at that daily point of interest and that psychological number of 47.50. Okay, so it could just come down a little bit, cool off, and come right back in. So then you're looking for a double top up there. NVIDIA reached an all-time high of $220 a share. So can we break a new all-time high and get it, see if it can continue to go through? So we have 1 more minute to go before this candle closes. It's representing the 15-minute bar. This one right here, we're not getting any considerable volume in it. It's just consolidating up here. I don't mind if it consolidates up here, because then maybe the next 15-minute candle can be bullish, as long as it consolidates up here without taking me out, right? But 5 minutes are now barcoding. Blue, black, blue, black. So now it's coming down to potentially, so they're holding down the all-time high currently. So I got to watch my stop loss now. I told you, I'm just below this green zone. If I do get tagged out, I'm out, because I don't want it to break down and then start coming down here and then put me in further drawdown. I'll verbally let you guys know as soon as I get stopped out. Okay, so the candle closed, again, right inside the mid of the zone. If we don't get buyers early, they'll reject this down and bring it back down. So we do have buyers early, but they still have to get back up against a black candle. So it's trading right at 50%. This is normally where I see a wick to come back down. However, if we see a blue candle coming through here, it could be that same situation like gold, how I had where it was coming up blue, 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 and then they had a sharp rejection and rejected it back down. What was that, Rob? Recently had a discussion with your best buddies, and they said that all these candles are just something to play and is nothing serious. How often does... What do you mean by that? These candles are just play. I don't know what you're referring to. Still holding it. Very, very close to getting stopped out. Still in it. They're going to get me. Still holding it. Still holding it. It's coming back to the opening price of the candle. Okay, but this next push down is potentially when they're going to get me. I have not been stopped out yet. Showing good support at 29,260 so far. Lots of volatility in this candle. Crazy, crazy volatility in this NASDAQ candle. It's a spin top, so showing all the buyers and sellers, buyers and sellers, buyers and sellers. Holy, it's very, very volatile. So we came back to the opening price. The buyers have brought it right back up, but it's this spin top candle. Lots of volatility. Mixed reactions on buyers and sellers. We're still trading in that bullish point of control. So I'm still live in it. Haven't been stopped out yet. Gold is cooling off. It just cool off. Okay, it could come right back up. What you're looking for are double tops up there, potentially. I'm looking for this NASDAQ candle to close blue back above here to see if the next candle can ride back up blue. But if they invalidate this green box, I want nothing to do with this buy. Okay, I'm out. They stopped me out there. So that's it. Now I watch to see if this zone will get invalidated. Okay, sorry, Rob, I got to read what you're saying. I didn't see here. What's going on here? Okay, just referring to nothing. Just came into your mind. They don't take trading candles serious. Yeah, some traders don't even look at candles. They just look at prices, buy and sell with momentum. You don't need to analyze candlesticks to be a trader. For them, it's just some addition, and the big guys always win. Addiction. I do. Okay. Yeah, some traders don't believe in candlestick trading. No problem. You don't have to, argue with them. I get that a lot too. Some traders say, Ron, candlesticks mean nothing in trading. That's fine. Some traders just have a watch list, and if their security goes down 10%, they look to buy it. They don't even care what level they're buying at. They don't look at support. They don't look at these things. That's fine. If that's their style of trading, it's their style. I believe in candlesticks. I believe because it displays the price in real time. Okay. But I don't think they're not scalpers, right? Why the hell would you not be looking at candles if you're not a scalper? Like if you're a swing trader, okay. If Apple drops 10, 15%, 20% in this month, you know what you're trading. You're trading Apple and you're getting it on discount. Do you have to look at the daily candles? No, You can just buy it on a discount, have alerts. You can set alerts at certain percentages of securities. If it drops 5%, you'll get an alert. That might be a time to add a pullback buy. There's lots of traders that do it like that. Anyways, guys, this zone is inverted, red. So that's why I get out, okay? I got out early. When it broke, it was holding, but it broke now. So if buyers are bringing it back in here, it could be sell zone coming back down, right? If the buyers now, the rest of the day, can eventually bring it back above here and close it above, I'll invert it green, maybe look to continue to buy to go to the all-time high, okay? And gold is coming right back up. Okay, so you see it was a slight pullback coming right back up. It cooled the RSI just a little bit, but it's still overbought. You could now look for double tops and then the bigger push down. However, it could just break right through here and be strong as usual, how it is, and just continue driving. Okay, I would not fight it. Okay, you had a nice push down, but that's it. Now it's coming right back up with those pullback traders. So now at the second top, is it going to start to see bigger resistance at the second top and coming down? In order for gold to look on the shorter time frames, on these 5 minutes, to be looking to sell, you need it come up, which it did, built support there, maybe come back up again, and then break down and break this, 47.35. If it breaks that, this could be the resistance to take you back down to the previous opening balance, this purple line. But it's not there. It's still strong, coming right back up. And got 3 more minutes to go into 10 a.m. and then a new hourly candle will come in, new volatility. If there's news, there could be news at that time, and that could change the momentum of the markets, right? Okay, but guys, I've had enough. That's it for me, 10 a.m. And tomorrow, guys, join Dave at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 8 a.m., 10 a.m. all week. I'll be after Dave tomorrow at 11 a.m. I have another call right now, one-on-one with a gentleman. I got to start that at 10:30. So I just want to take a quick little break and get to that. And guys, enjoy your Monday. It's the start of the week. Some securities are trading at all-time highs. You know, they could just pull back and continue driving. Tech is very, very strong, but maybe needs a cool-off day. Who knows? If you're trading gold, it is very, very, very strong. The entire daily candle has flipped. Like, it was very bearish when we started the day. It was bearish, ignited, came all the way down, and the last 4-hour candle, which is going to close now in a couple minutes, has completely flipped and turned bullish. And we've already produced a new high from Friday, and maybe could get up to last Thursday's high. Who knows? But gold is extremely bullish. Maybe even to trade up to this bigger red zone this week. Okay, strong on the daily, higher time frames, even on the 5 minutes. Straight out of Comex, that big body candle has continued to produce all this bullish volume. NASDAQ could come down, you know, and start to trade near the lowest point of the day. Maybe we'll have a bearish day in NASDAQ coming out today for a Monday. Who knows? But guys, on YouTube, thanks everyone for joining. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel. We'll be back tomorrow, post New York, 11 a.m. And join the free Telegram group. It's right over here. It's pinned at the top of YouTube for you guys. We'll give you guys the channel to join us. And some news regarding today's trading and everything else. Okay, guys, have a good day. Enjoy your Monday. Congratulations to you guys long on gold. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day, everyone. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you, guys.
Recording stopped.